At this exact spot, 100 years ago, the Chevra Kadisha Synagogue was captured by the William Notman Studio. The synagogue was built in 1903 and was one of the oldest Orthodox synagogues in Montreal at the time. 17 years later, in 1920, the synagogue mysteriously burned to the ground. The grounds today is host to a parking lot and ongoing construction. The Notman Studio was known for recording important historical events, as well as capturing Montreal's everyday life. Seymour Frank is the only survivor from when the B'nai Jacob and the Chevra Kadisha merged. He was the president of the synagogue from 1972 to 1976. Here we see his name on a bronze plaque. Seymour's marriage was one of the reasons for the merger of the two synagogues.
Chevra Kadisha is merged with B'nai Jacob. Chevra Kadisha was on Hutchison Street and Fairmount, and B'nai Jacob was on Fairmount and Jean Mance. With Chevra Kadisha moving away from Fairmount, B'nai Jacob was left there, but negotiations started, and my family was very much involved in these discussions because my father-in-law was very active, and my father was also involved in our synagogue, Chevra Kadisha, but not to the extent of my father-in-law.
The Chevra Kadisha was not the only synagogue that the Notman Studio chose to capture. In 1910 to 1911, they photographed scenes of the Austrian-Hungarian synagogue on Milton Avenue and the Shar Hashmaim on McGill College Avenue. In the late 1890s, Montreal's Jewish community grew due to an influx of immigrants brought on by rising anti-Semitism in parts of Europe. This led to a number of synagogues being built at the turn of the century.
The immigrants, as they came to Canada, the Jewish ones who joined institutions of this type, were basically from Russia and from Lithuania with similar backgrounds.
The Chevra Kadisha photograph by the Notman Studio shows us that at the time the Jewish community was an important contribution to Montreal's multicultural ethnicity.
There isn't a wedding or a bar mitzvah where they don't have a photographer to perpetuate all these things.
The Chevra Kadisha B'nai Jacob is one of the main synagogues in Montreal today. Its historical value is showcased through these photographs and would be otherwise unrecorded. The focus of the photograph is the thriving Jewish community as a whole, which is echoed in the way that the composition has been set up, that is strong, central, and unified.